The contentious presidential election happening in the middle of a pandemic and as the dark and cold winter looms has been the source of stress and anxiety for many. So how do we deal with it? Mental health expert and co-founder of the Center, A Place of Hope, Dr. Gregory Jantz, joins us now with some advice. And doctor, the American Psychological Association found that 68% of adults said this year's election was a significant source of stress in their life, up from just 52% in 2016. And it doesn't matter who you are, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, they're all significantly stressed. And Black adults were even more stressed at 71%. You called the election a flashpoint. Talk about that.
Well, we've been going through some plagues, and this has been nonstop. So we've had chronic stress now, 6 months going on 7 months, and it looks like this pandemic purgatory that we're in is not ending. And there's all these questions of, well, what's ahead? What's the future really hold? And so this uncertainty over time has increased, well, anxiety levels to record levels. We also know that depression is at all-time highs. We're seeing it. We work with folks who travel from all over to come to go through one of our programs for anxiety and depression. We're seeing the needs are greater than ever before. I'm also alarmed that addiction rates are going up as well.
And it's not just the adults who are feeling anxious or depressed. Children's mental health is also being affected. You say parents can be at fault for that?
Well, what we know is if we're a very anxious household and there's a lot of constant tension, our kids, particularly younger kids, are like a sponge. They absorb all of our anxieties. And so we inadvertently, kind of create some anxiety for them. So I'm saying just be aware of that. We're also particularly concerned about the stress levels for the 12 to 17-year-olds. If it's online school, this is not normal developmental stages. Socially, there's issues. We're seeing online pornography go up in that age group, 12 to 17. So this is an area and an age range of great concern.
Wow. So what are some things we can do to help deal with our anxiety?
Well, I think one of the things is where is your point of focus? And what I mean by that is, what are you doing to practice great self-care? Now, what I want to say is self-care means mental hygiene as well as physical, and I'm going to add spiritual.
The holidays are coming up, and this year they'll look different. Many are dealing with loss because of COVID. Also, there are the restrictions that you talk about, also restrictions on gatherings. Maybe you're not going to be able to see grandma or your cousins. And on top of that, it's oftentimes a time of excessive eating and drinking. So what's a healthy alternative to deal with your emotions this holiday season?
Well, don't do it alone. One of the things that we have found is the more you isolate, the more that feelings of anxiety, and anxiety is very real, it has physical effects. And the more depression rates go up, and the more when we isolate, we tend to turn to self-destructive behaviors. Maybe it's alcohol. So here's the thing, stay connected. Our relationships right now are more important than ever. But don't find another person that's miserable. Come together. I think there's even a place for, support and prayer. There's a place for community, even if it's remote. Let's keep connected with healthy relationships.
That sounds good to me. Dr. Gregory Jantz, mental health expert and co-founder of the Center, A Place of Hope. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you today.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.